All right, let's get right into it. Deep down, you know it, right? The one thing that's really standing between you and everything you're capable of, it's your beliefs, specifically the ones that hold you back. Today, we're going to learn how to destroy them. Just think about that for a second. That invisible wall you keep running into, that feeling that you're just stuck. What if it's all built on an idea that isn't even true? I know. It feels incredibly real. It shapes your entire world. But that doesn't mean you can't tear it down. And here's the really exciting part. You can change them, and you can do it way faster than you think if you know the right technique. Now, this isn't just some motivational fluff. What we're about to go through is a really powerful method that comes from a field called neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. It's subtle, but trust me, it's a game changer. So first things first, let's talk about what most people do when they try to fix this and why it almost never works. In fact, it usually makes things worse. We try to fight our beliefs, to just muscle our way through them. And that is a huge trap. I mean, think about it. Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? That nagging, deep-down belief that you're a total fraud and you're going to be found out any second? So what do? You try to prove it wrong. You work like crazy, you chase that next achievement, that next success, thinking this will be the thing that finally silences the voice. But it never really goes away, does it? And here's the crazy part. When you try to prove a belief wrong, you actually end up making it stronger. Why? Because the whole time, you're operating from the assumption that the belief is true. Your every action is basically screaming, I'm a failure who's trying really hard to look like a success. You're just pouring gasoline on the fire. Okay, so if fighting doesn't work, what's the answer? Well, we have to stop running. The very first real step is to turn around, look that belief straight in the eye, and get radically honest about what it is. And here's a simple way to do that. First, just pick something you want to do, but for some reason you just aren't. Maybe it's starting that business or asking that person out. Then ask yourself, okay, honestly, what stops me? And don't settle for the easy surface level answer. Keep digging. Follow that feeling down until you hit the real core belief that's running the show. Now, when you do this, there are a few ground rules. You have to be brave and just accept whatever you find without judging yourself for it. No blame, no shame. That just adds another layer of pain. And this last one is so important. Do not justify the belief. Look, past trauma is real. The pain was absolutely real. But using it as evidence to prove the belief is true, that's what keeps you locked in place. So once you've found the belief and you've named it, this is where the fun begins. This is where we stop being a character in a story someone else wrote, and we step into the director's chair. The best way to think about this is like you're a movie editor. The content is all the raw footage of your life, every memory, every event, good and bad. The structure is how you edit all that footage together. You know, the music you choose, where you make the cuts, the special effects. A great editor can take the exact same scenes and turn a comedy into a terrifying horror movie just by changing the structure. And that, right there, is the absolute key to this whole thing. The feeling of certainty, that powerful emotional punch that a belief has, it doesn't come from the events themselves. It comes from how your brain has decided to structure all the information about them. So, how do we actually start editing? Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the practical step-by-step guide. We're moving from the why to the how-to. The technique we're going to use is called mapping across. It sounds a little technical, I know, but the idea is actually super simple. We're going to take the structure of one thought, that powerful, certain structure of the old belief, and apply it to a new thought that you'd rather have. It's really just a 4-step process. First, you pick your new empowering belief. What do you want to believe instead? Second, we got to analyze the structure of the old limiting one. Third, you go on a little scavenger hunt for evidence to support your new belief. And finally, the magic step. You install that new evidence into the powerful old structure. Now, analyzing the structure, this might sound a little weird, but stick with me. Your brain organizes information in space. So when you think of that old belief, where do the memories pop up? Are they right in front of your face? Off to the left? Are they still images or a full-blown movie? Are you watching it happen or are you in it, reliving it? Those details, those are the editing choices that give it all its power. Okay, next up is gathering evidence for your new belief. And this is the best part. You do not need some massive life-altering moment of triumph here.
Seriously, your brain cares about the structure, not the scale. So small wins totally count. Learning to tie your shoes as a kid, finishing a tough project, keeping a promise to a friend. It's all usable footage for your new movie.
So once you have your new evidence, you take those new memories and you literally just swap them into the old structure. You put them in the exact same location with the same sounds, the same feelings. And when you do that, everything changes. You've just given yourself a whole new direction.
I want you to really let that sink in. You're not erasing your past or pretending bad things didn't happen. You're simply changing how you organize it in your mind. And when you change the organization of your past, you fundamentally change how you feel right now, in the present, and you open up a totally different future. So I'll just leave you with this thought. You are the editor. You are the director. All the footage is already there, waiting for you. The only real question is, what story are you going to direct next?
Now, learning these tools and using them on your own can be absolutely life-changing. But let's be honest, sometimes, especially when we're dealing with really deep-rooted beliefs from tough life experiences, having a guide in your corner can make all the difference. If you feel like you could use some expert support in navigating these challenges, I'd encourage you to visit DrDeemanthe.com. You can connect with Dr. D there for professional, therapeutic guidance to really help you overcome whatever's holding you back.